Oh, hello there. I'm Bilchan.
I'm Nimakong.
I'm Banchan.
In this class, I'll read to all of you Chapter 2, Section 5 of the picture of Dorian Gray.
As.
Ah.
The picture of Dorian Gray. Oscar Wilde. Chapter 2, Section 5. With a stifled sob, the lad leaped from the couch and rushing over to Howard, tore the knife out of his hand and flung it to the end of the studio. Don't. Basil. Don't, he cried. I am glad you appreciate my work at last. Dorian, said the painter coldly when he had recovered from his surprise. Appreciate it? I am in love with it. Basil. It is part of myself. But as soon as you are dry, you shall be varnished and framed and sent home. Then you can do what you like with yourself. And he walked across the room and rang the bell for tea. You will have tea. Of course. Dorian? And so will you. Harry. I adore simple pleasures, said Lord Henry. They are the last refuge of the complex. But I don't like scenes. Except on the stage. What absurd fellows you are. Both of you. I wonder who it was defined man as a rational animal. It was the most premature definition ever given. Man is many things. But he is not rational. I am glad he is not. After all, I wish you chaps would not squabble over the picture. You had much better let me have it. Basil. This silly boy didn't really want it. If you let anyone have it but me. Basil. I shall never forgive you, cried Dorian Gray. You know the picture is yours. Dorian. And you know you have been a little silly. Wasted. I should have objected very strongly this morning. This morning. There came a knock at the door, and a butler entered with a leaden tea tray and set it down upon a small Japanese table. There was a rattle of cups and saucers and the hissing of a fluted Georgian. And 2 globe-shaped china dishes were brought in by a page. Dorian Gray went over and poured out the tea. The 2 men sauntered languidly to the table and examined what was under the covers. Let us go to the theatre tonight, said Lord Henry. There is sure to be something on. Somewhere. I have promised to dine at Waite's. But it is only with an old friend. So I can send him a wire to say that I am ill. Or that I am prevented from coming in consequence of a subsequent engagement. I think that would be a rather nice excuse. It is such a bore putting on one's dress clothes, muttered Howard. And when one has them on. Yes, answered Lord Henry dreamily. The costume of the 19th century is detestable. It is so sombre. So depressing. You really must not say things like that before Dorian. Before which Dorian? The one who is pouring out tea for us. I should like to come to the theatre with you. Lord Henry, said the lad. Then you shall come. And you will come. Do. Basil. I can't. Really. I would say not. Well, then, you and I will go alone. Waste it. The painter bit his lip and walked over, cap in hand, to the picture. I shall stay with the real Dorian, he said. Sadly. Is it the real Dorian? Cried the original of the portrait, strolling across to him. Yes. How wonderful. At least you are like in appearance. But it will never alter, sighed Holroyd. What a fuss people make about fidelity, exclaimed Lord Henry. Why? Even in love it is purely a question for physiology. It has nothing to do with our own will. Young men want to be faithful, and are not. Old men want to be faithless, and cannot. Don't go to the theatre tonight, Dorian said Howard. I can't. He won't like you the better for keeping your promises. He always breaks his own. Dorian Gray laughed and shook his head. The lad hesitated and looked over at Lord Henry, who was watching them from the tea table with an amused smile. I must go. Basil, he answered. Very well, said Howard. And he went over and laid down his cup on the tray. It is rather late. And as you have to dress, you had better lose no time. Goodbye. Harry. Goodbye. Dorian. Come and see me soon. No. Of course not, cried Dorian. And yes. Remember what I asked you. I wish I could trust myself, said Lord Henry, laughing. Can waste it. My hansom is outside, and I can drop you at your own place. Goodbye. Basil. As the door closed behind them, the painter flung himself down on a sofa, and a look of pain came into his face. To be continued.